Hey guys, it's Kevin here in Japan, and here's the deal. One of my viewers, one of you awesome people out there, left me a question on my Facebook page, and you said your situation that you want to come to Japan and work as a teacher, but you're a non-native English speaker. You have a BA degree, you have a TEFL certification, you have good English, but you're not a native English speaker, and you've heard that for non-native English speakers, you have to come to Japan to get visa sponsorship. So the deal is, if you want to work in Japan, you need a school to hire you and give you a visa. Or you need to, this person also said that they've heard for non-native English speakers that you must already have a visa to get a job. This is an interesting catch-22 situation. It doesn't apply to just non-native English speakers. It applies to native English speakers such as myself. Many companies in Japan, I think, don't want to go through the hassle of sponsoring someone. So if you go to a major job searching website like gaijinpot.com, there will often, by job ads, be a little red asterisk, and that means that you must already reside in Japan and have a visa. How do I get a visa if a company... First of all, you need a job to get a visa. You need a company to hire you and sponsor you for a visa. Well, how do I get a job with a company if they're saying I must already have one? If I don't, it's a difficult situation. There's a few ways around it. He mentioned about, am I going to have to come to Japan first and then get a job? Well, often, sadly, that is probably the best way to get a job in Japan, because even schools that say that they won't sponsor a visa for someone abroad, if you're in country and you show up for an in-person interview, oftentimes they will sponsor you for the visa because you're already here. So there's a couple of options, basically. Option number one, save up your money. Save up your money and come to Japan and do a job search. There are places you can stay, like travelers' houses and things that are pretty affordable, but it's going to take some time, because you got to think of, you're going to arrive here, you've got to go through the job ads, you've got to set up interviews, you've got to go to the interviews. If you do well, you have to wait for them to process and make a decision. So it could take weeks or months, or a month or so to find a job. Then another important factor is you must make sure you have enough money to live, because once you get hired by a company in Japan, a school, you will not get paid until the end of your first month working. Okay, so you get paid once a month in Japan. So you're going to have enough money to get you through the job search. Once you secure a job, you're going to need enough money to get you through that first month. So it's a challenge, but here's the deal. I mean, if this is a dream you have, like a lot of people say to me, Kevin, my dream of coming to Japan, you got to work for your dreams, and it might take you saving for a year or two or three. Like when I decided I wanted to become an elementary school teacher in Canada, I'm in Japan now, but to go get my teaching license, I had been in Korea for 2 years, and near the end of my second year I decided I wanted to go back to school in Canada and get my teaching certification. So for 3.5 years I worked longer in Korea. I worked 6 days a week and busted my ass and saved up money to go back to school. So if you really want it, work hard, save up the money. Sometimes dreams don't come quickly. Option number two is you do your research, and you search online and you look for a job, a school that will sponsor you from abroad. It does happen. That's how I got my job in Japan. I many years ago did a Skype interview from Canada with a company in Japan, and they hired me, and they sponsored my visa, and I came over and boom, boom, boom. So do your research. There's another thing. Do your research. The information's out there. The jobs are out there if you search. You can find work from abroad if you search. Do your research. Get on Google. It's a lot more work than just sending a message to a YouTuber or a blogger. Really just get out there on Google, do your searches, spend a lot of time finding it. And you can find schools from abroad that will sponsor you. And another situation too, even, for example, if you go to a website like gaijinpot.com and they say that they don't sponsor, you must reside in Japan or they won't sponsor your visa, send them an inquiry anyway. Maybe they will. You never know if you ask them if they like your resume or if they like you in an interview. Maybe they will. Maybe they just post it to kind of to scare off some of the flotsam and jetsam, the undesirables. But so there you go. So that's it's not a myth. Often companies require you to have a visa already, or for you to reside in Japan, because they want to interview you in person. They want to see you face to face, and maybe even have you do a demo class. But that doesn't apply just to non-native English speakers. That applies to guys like me too. That's across the board for everybody. All right, well, I hope that helped you out, and see you guys later. Take care.